Cortisol. Well, recognizing it is a win, Louise, no? Maybe before you would have like blown up, but now you're like, you know what? I know it's cortisol. I know what I need to do. I need to de-stress. So finding that thing. Back to the gym yesterday, bought months past, and I've lost 1.5 stone on Monday. I think she means like on Monday. That was the totality rather than on one day. So huge congrats, Charlene. This is great, 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 great. I'm going to talk about the gym actually as a side note. I was thinking about an observation, the gym today. My wins include staying on track, extra workouts, and lots of water. Good, good. I'm running low. So if you're watching this, Cam, I'd love it. I'd love it. A few this week, steps increased, but no 17,000. I know, mate. I'm on like 5,149. Sam is just a bit of a maniac, really, isn't she? Okay, cool. So first off, I need to apologize. I haven't got back to everybody yet that wanted to apply for the Transformation Challenge. I will loads of unread messages. If you want to be bumped to the top, just drop me another message saying hello or something, and I will get back to you ASAP. But as a kind of like overall, we have launched a transformation challenge. It is, hey Claire, it is, I think it was 16 weeks we ended on, 16-week transformation challenge, and whoever has the biggest transformation by the end wins a place in our photo shoot this winter. So as you guys know, we've just finished our summer shoots. Some of our clients have already signed up for the December shoot, and we've actually got people already signing up for next summer's shoots. They're very highly sought after, and you guys can win. We're giving one person the access to it, basically. So the transformation is not just physical. Of course, that's what everybody thinks of straight away, but these photo shoots are not just for who looks the most different or who looks the best or who can be the skinniest or wherever. It's actually also about the mental transformation, the confidence you get. So I'm sure if any of our guys, Grace is in here, I've seen Grace maybe if she's still watching, the mental transformation, the confidence you get from a shoot is above and beyond anything else. So if we see people are like changing their mindset, doing more things out of their comfort zone, then that will also kind of pay dividends to your transformation. Okay, so it's a holistic whole thing transformation. So that is that. It starts very, very soon. Applications are supposed to close on Sunday, but because I've been like falling behind a little bit, I'll probably push it a little bit longer, maybe into next week. But basically, get in your application ASAP. Send me a message saying photo shoot challenge or transformation challenge, and I will get back to you with that link. All right, so there's that. The second thing is, oh yeah, the gym. So who said it? Charlene. I was thinking about this at the gym earlier on. Sometimes I'm one of those people that looks around during the gym, during like my rest periods, that everyone hates those people, and they find one that was like, what's everyone doing? But I've noticed that the most confident girls at the gym are very rarely the quote unquote skinniest, right? Let me just mute my thing here. Quite often, I would say the majority of the time, is actually the girls who are like powerlifting, or I've seen going for a while and they're like building up their strength. They're doing like the stronger things, like they're getting really strong at the gym, versus the girls that are on the cardio machines. Or like today, yesterday actually at the gym, there was girls downstairs on the racks, like powerlift, not necessarily powerlifting, but squatting, deadlifts, doing those kind of exercises. And then I went upstairs because I needed to go into the studio for some rehab on my knee. And actually, there were two of these girls, two girls in there, and they were doing the same workout together. The only way I can describe it for you guys to kind of understand is they looked like they were doing a music video, or like an exercise video together, you know, like they were doing that kind of thing together, and they do the ski together, and then they do some curls together. I'm like, stick on like a headband and just, some wrist sweatbands and you're good, some leggings. But they didn't seem confident. The girls at the gym downstairs who were lifting, their confidence was better. So I really believe that, and I don't want to sound like horrible here or judgmental. This is not what I'm going for here. But the girls who were lifting downstairs were not as skinny as the girls that were doing like the stuff upstairs, like the Mr. Motivator kind of situation going on. But their confidence is way better than the ones upstairs. So there's definitely a mix. And I know Grace has been through her transformation when she lost loads of weight and now she's built muscle. She's getting stronger at the gym. And even between her last shoot, which was in summer, and this shoot, which was last winter, and this shoot, which is the summer one, she'd gained muscle mass. And she said to me on the day, I'm not as lean as I was on the last shoot, but I feel so much better. And so I really think that there's this conversation that needs to be had around confidence at the gym and really what makes us confident. And I truly believe it is confidence in your body, not how it looks, but what it can do, what it can perform, and what it can physically do, what it can lift, and what it can do that it never used to be able to do. So I truly believe that this then builds your confidence. And then you're like, well, if I can deadlift 100 kg, what else can I do? And then outside of that, you'd be like, yeah, I can wear this. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can go for that job. And if you're dating, like, yeah, I can go out and date whoever I want. I deserve the best because I'm bloody badass. So I truly believe that is how you get confident. But that was just an observation. I'll do a little reel on it or something. That's just an observation today. So talking of Grace, she had the question that we're going to be talking about today, which was something along the lines of, let me just refresh. Got a couple of tabs open here. Something along the lines of, can you tell me about refined sugars and alternatives, I believe. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I've got some notes here. And I did write a reply. I don't know if anyone saw it, and then I deleted it. I don't know if anyone saw it before I deleted it. So basically, Grace wants to know, what are the benefits of eliminating refined sugars versus, or what can you have instead of? So shall I say my reply now or I'll say it later? Okay, so let's just get straight into it then. First of all, the benefits of removing refined sugars. So refined sugars are obviously sugars that have been refined. They're like processed, versus an apple, which is not refined because, it's just an apple, isn't it? So the first thing that you guys are probably going to be most interested in is the fact that it reduces your calories, right? So refined sugars are typically high in calories, and not only are they high in calories, but they also make you want more, so your appetite increases. So it's not enough just to have the extra calories in the foods that you're eating, but actually now your body's like, oh, I want another hit of that. It's very addictive. Hey, Bushra. So, Bushra's another one that's done the fortitude, actually. So that's one thing. So weight management is way easier when you reduce or eliminate refined sugars or refined carbs. Carbs are sugars. Next thing, I think that's the main thing. I think that's the main thing that everyone wants to hear. Reduce that and you'll probably lose weight. Not, how can I explain it? So if you ate 2,000 calories and you lost weight on 2,000 calories a day, for example, and you calorie counted, you tracked everything, you were controlled. If that was the case, then it wouldn't matter if you had refined sugars or if you had unrefined sugars, you would still lose weight because it's the same amount of calories. That is always going to be the most important thing. So total calories. But if you're not controlled, or if you want to make things a little bit more difficult, then refined sugars is the way to go because it will increase your appetite. You're going to want more. But also, if you're not tracking and you're not controlled, you're more likely to unknowingly overeat, reach for the extra bit or whatever it's going to be. And then it's going to add up the calories, right? So that's I guess, the most important thing for a lot of you guys. But there are other things that are just as important. So improved heart health. It basically lowers your risk of heart disease, reduces triglycerides. So obviously CV, cardiovascular system. improves there. Blood sugar control. So this is really important if you've got diabetes, maybe if you're going to pre-diabetic phase. So if you're pre-diabetic, this will mean that you are almost type 2. So insulin resistance. If you have a lot of refined sugars, you're more likely to increase your chance and your risk of being diabetic and having that insulin resistance. Now, the people that should be definitely like keeping an eye on this are obviously diabetics and pre-diabetics, but also women who have any hormonal imbalances, especially when it comes to estrogen. So if you've got PCOS, endometriosis, perimenopause or menopause, it is very important to really lower down the amount of refined sugars that you're eating, because you're already at risk of being insulin resistant. Okay, so we need to be insulin sensitive, but if you have a lot of sugar, you're going to be insulin resistant. Okay, that's a very, very broad overview of that. So you're overeating, you're gaining weight, your heart health has decreased, your risk of type 2 diabetes is increased. And also, let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to slow down my talking a little bit so you guys can catch up and I can see the chat. Let me know if you guys ever have an energy slump. I spoke to someone about this, one of our clients earlier today, actually. Anyone get like an energy slump at like 1, 2, or 3 o'clock? You're like, I need a nap or a coffee. But you can't have you could have a coffee, I guess, but you go to the vending machine and get chocolate, or you go to your like treat drawer and get a chocolate. Who else? Viv, I see you. Crystal, Bushra is a 3 o'clock gal. Claire, most days. So there are different reasons for this, right? So don't take this with a pinch of sugar, pinch of salt. Charlene, not so much now. Good. So it could be that you've eaten high processed carbs earlier on in the day. So basically, when you have quick releasing carbs, this is what happens to your blood sugar. The sugar in your blood goes up, and then it goes boom, and then you need another one back up and boom. Okay, so you go pop, 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 pop all day. Up, crash. Honey, no, Sam. I don't think so anyway. Let me come back to you, Sam. Let me come back to you. So when you're having this up and down, you typically grab more sugar because you already want it, because you had it earlier. But also because you're tired, you need energy, and your body looks for energy, looks for food. So that's what you're going to do. And what's going to give you the most energy? Quick releasing carbs, which is typically refined. So we're going to eat the sugar more up and down. So it could be another couple of other things, right? But generally, this is a big one. You need to be eating a high-fat, high-protein breakfast. That will typically reduce the crash later. And lunch, you need like slow digesting carbs. So don't be like, I'm going to have rice for lunch, for example. I mean, you could, but if it's white, be prepared for the crash. It's not so severe. It's not as severe as chips, potato chips or crisps, for example, or like a sandwich. How many of you guys have a sandwich, or a wrap, or a baguette, or what else do people have? Like a panini or ciabatta. Breads, this is the typical thing, will do that to you. Rice is better than that, but that is going to happen with white bread. It happens with brown also, but white is like the number one. So that's something to keep an eye out for. So if you're one of these people who has cereal for breakfast, or you have toast for breakfast, and then you have the crash later on, or you have a sandwich or baguette or a wrap or something like that for lunch, and you're finding this 1, 2, 3, or 3 o'clock drop, I would look to what you've had earlier on in the day. Like I say, there are other things as well. Porridge, not so much, because it's a slower digesting carb. However, it depends, right? Like if you have pure rolled oats, then that's going to be better for you. But obviously in some porridges, there's added sugar, there's all of these extra like things that are unnatural. So that will give you the slump later. Or oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder and some berries. Better. Berries will do that slightly, but not like boom, boom. It'll be like, oh, boom. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm going backwards for you guys. So fruit is fructose, which is a quick releasing carb, quick releasing sugar. So that will reduce quite quickly, but not to the extent of like candy, for example. But oats are slower digesting unless they've got stuff in, like prepackaged added stuff, but still better for you than like potato chips. Okay, so I hope that is helpful so far. Mental clarity. Brain fog is another thing that lots of people struggle with. Oh my God, I got brain fog. I can't concentrate. The words at the tip of my tongue. You're scatterbrained. You forgot where you put your keys. You forgot this. You forgot that. Someone's birthday. You forget the name of your child. Or you call your husband your dog's name accidentally. Those kinds of things can come from the. Sorry, I got really itchy nose here. Can come from the refined sugars also. So what happens is, again, I'm going to say that there are other causes for this, but I'm specifically talking about the link between refined sugars and these consequences or these symptoms. So when you have refined sugars, we will talk about the gut shortly, but basically it can cause the gut to become inflamed. And when the gut is inflamed, it can actually cause inflammation in your brain, which then causes things like brain fog. Forgot my postcode. There we go. The brain fog. Yeah. So there are, like I say, there are things like menopause, for example, or perimenopause. It could be that you've got something, medically wrong. But I always think or maybe you didn't sleep very well, but I always think the first place to look is in nutrition. I think that's the most important place for people to look instead of jumping straight to, oh, give me meds, So food, nutrition is nature's medicine. Okay, so low sugar can stabilize mood swings if you're one of those kind of gals. And also there is a link between poor gut health / inflamed gut and poor mental health, so anxiety, depression, and low mood. So if you feel like you are at risk of any of these, or if you do suffer with anxiety, depression, or low mood, the first place to look would be your diet. What can I do? Am I eating a lot of processed carbs? And the way to think about processed carb is, can I catch it? Or unprocessed food. Can I catch it, kill it, or pick it in nature? So a cow, like a steak, you can find a cow in nature. If you wanted to, you kill it and eat it. Apple, you could find an apple on the tree, pull it down, eat it. Bread, never seen it in the wild, never seen it on a tree. So that one is processed. So that's the way to think about it. Can I kill it, catch it, or pick it in nature? If yes, eat it. If not, processed. Of course, we're going to talk about the balance later, but that will, if you're struggling with like anxiety, depression, low mood, that will be the first thing to look at, like more unprocessed food, less processed foods. And unfortunately, it's hard because when we're feeling like that, the things we want to eat is like ice cream, chocolate, pizza. We want to eat all the processed foods. But that's going to make things worse. So we have to use our willpower and like drag it out of us and be like, I'm having it. And then we're going to go for, the unprocessed foods. I see a lot of people wanting tablets to help with digestion and gut rather than looking into the diet first. It's like we're programmed to want a quick fix or tablet. Yeah. I could go on, Claire. I'm just going to agree with you. But you guys know I'm very anti this. I had this conversation last night at dinner with somebody, actually. I was like, they were talking about going on the jab, and I was like, you could just stop eating so much shit. Sometimes I need to like filter, but yeah, just stop eating shit, and you're probably going to help your brain fog, your mood, your energy, your belly, your waistline. So better focus as well. That's another thing when we're trying to focus. If we're eating sugary carbs, we're going to have this up and down energy. We're going to have the crash, which is then going to undo our focus, our flow state. Okay. Lots of people have better skin. I'd love to know, actually, you guys, no quick fixes, yes, for sure. Delayed gratifications, what it's all about. I'd love to know in here who has improved their diet and noticed that their skin has got better. Maybe it's you haven't got acne, maybe not breaking out as often, maybe you just got like a bit of a glow, not pregnancy glow, just a great skin glow. And also it can help you with youthful appearance. So it can help you basically, it doesn't allow your skin to age as quickly. There you go. Crystal's like, yes, me. So if you eat really well, your skin will thank you for it massively. I used to break out on my jawline. There we go. There you go. So it is facts, not just me spitting lies here. The evidence is in the chat. Okay, and then oral health as well. So this is a funny one, actually, because when I went to the dentist a couple of years ago, he was like, yeah, everything's good and whatever. He's like, if you smoke, stop smoking. If you drink less and whatever. And I was like, no, I just eat chocolate. And he's like, well, I want you to eat all of the chocolate in one. And I was like, no, I'm going to I'm going to spread it out because I want to enjoy it across the day. And he's like, but if you're going to be eating it all day, then the sugars on your teeth, they're going to eat the teeth away, basically. So actually, he says better to eat the sugars in one and then not eat them. Brush your teeth and then not eat them for the rest of the day. I'm not on board with this, guys. I'm not on board with this, but I'm also not an oral hygienist or particularly interested in teeth. So sorry if any of you guys are like dental nurses or whatever. But it will help, obviously, lower tooth decay and obviously improve dental hygiene in general. So there's that. And like the only other thing I would say is the gut health aspect of it. So I've already mentioned the inflammation in the gut. Let me just go to the chat here. I used to have very bad outbreaks on my chin, even had to go to the doctors. Now I'm not eating any crap. It's all gone for months. Yeah, exactly. It's so easy, isn't it, to be like, oh, I need to, some cream, or like this is the problem and I don't want to take responsibility to fix it. I would rather something else fix it for me because I can't be bothered to eat not shit. I'm sassy today. But it's true. Okay, so the gut issue. So the gut and the brain, sometimes I call them the butt. The gut and the brain are interconnected. So when you and actually the gut microbiome as well, so it's a triangle, but we'll just do the two pieces for now. So when the brain and the gut talk to each other all of the time. So if you've got something going on stress-wise in the brain, the gut is also going to stress out, which is sometimes why when people are nervous, they either are constipated or they've got diarrhea, right? Because the brain and the body are connected. The brain and the guts, right? And then also when you eat something that your body goes, oh, I don't like this, the brain is also affected by it as well. So you know how anybody got like a song or a film that when they listen to it, it's like nostalgia. They remember being at uni or meeting their partner or being around their mum, or like if they listen or they smell something like your mum's perfume or your grandmother's like, record comes on or whatever. Like, does anyone have any of those things where they feel something even though it's years and years and years later? Gut health documentary on Netflix is good. I don't love Netflix documentaries, if I'm honest. Just because the way it's funded and bias. Okay, yeah, memories. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you get these memories and you remember like, oh yeah, I feel like this and whatever. Amor, Frank Sinatra was my wedding dance. There we go. Yeah. So when that comes up, when it comes on the radio or Spotify or whatever, then you think about the wedding, right? It floods back, Sam. Good memories. So the brain actually pulls you back into these memories, right? And so when you eat ice cream, when you're sad, you're like depressed, you go for the ice cream, your brain is thinking, oh, now I'm feeling a bit better because I'm eating this ice cream, right? No one eats broccoli when they're sad. It's always ice cream or chocolate, chips, right? And you think it makes you feel better. But the way that the brain works actually creates a neural pathway where it now associates ice cream, chocolate, chips, wherever you've eaten, wherever your vice is. It now associates that with negativity and sadness. So now you might be like happy, like, hey, it's summer, I'm going to have some ice cream. And then all of a sudden, your body's like, we only have ice cream when we're sad. Or your brain, sorry. We only have ice cream when we're sad. Actually, it's a bit too hot. I still don't really look how I want. Shouldn't be eating this. And the brain starts to then make us think like, I'm actually not that happy. So it's really interesting the way that the brain and the gut interconnect. Things like your serotonin, so your calm, cool, collected hormone, is stored in the gut. Your immune system is about 70% in the gut. So if you are eating a lot of refined sugars and a lot of processed foods, sorry, I could hear someone outside, dog, then your immune system will be compromised, as well as mood, right? So anxiety and depression. In fact, studies have shown where people have been on antidepressants and they swap their antidepressants for it's actually like a high fiber diet or low processed diet, they are more likely to, or they have come off antidepressants altogether. So again, instead of going for the antidepressants, go for the vegetables. Go for a walk. Get some good sleep. Lift some weights. Again, that's another study that I shared the other day. Hey, Sam. So yeah, the brain will connect these memories together. So the brain and the gut are very much interconnected. Okay, so honey. Sam asked about honey. So funnily enough, my sister and Cam were talking about this yesterday, had this conversation, and my sister makes honey. Not herself, keeps bees, makes honey. And Cam wanted some honey on his bagel. And she said, well, I've got some, but it's not like pourable, you're a spreader. He's like, why is it solid? She's like, because honey hardens, like it's hard. And he's like, but the ones in the supermarket aren't. And she's like, yeah, because they've got like added stuff in it. And it's actually, if a bee has the honey from the supermarket, the bee will die. So it's got this added stuff in. So although honey isn't refined, like when it's being processed and put through the processing of it, then it's going to have stuff added to it. So yes, technically it will be refined at that point. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Sam. Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything there. So I've got a couple of ideas, alternatives. So grab your pen and paper, make notes. These are the things that you should have if you have that sugar craving, if you feel like I just need that little bit of a hit. These are the things that you should choose first. Okay, natural sugar. So I've mentioned fruit quite a few times. So when it comes to having, let's say chocolate, or no, let's say candy, Skittles. Don't know if you have those in the States, or Skittles, Let's say you've got Skittles or Pick a Mix and an apple. Let's say the sugar content is the same. Slightly, or it's not, but let's just say for this example it is. You might be like, well, it's the same calories, same sugar content. I love the sweets, thanks. But in the apple, you've also got the fiber, you've got the nutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, versus the candy, which is basically empty. It's just going to do this sugar bump bump. And so the fiber will help it slow down, so it won't be bump bump. It might be like bump bump. And also your body needs fiber. It improves your gut health, amongst other things, right? And then obviously like the vitamins and the minerals, which is going to help your health improve and make you feel better overall. So that's going to be, if you think about it that way, yes, they're the same calories, but this is why not all calories are created equal. And so you need to think about that when you're making these choices. Dried fruit, dates. Grace loves a date. She likes to cover in peanut butter. Raisins and apricots. So you can have these, but just know they're higher in sugar. So obviously fresh is going to be the best. And then if you're like, no, I really need something sweet, then you could try that. Okay, so fruit. And then natural sweeteners. So honey will come back. Honey is really good. It's got antioxidants in it. It still has darker fruits. They've got a lot of antioxidants in. And honey also has antibacterial properties in. You've got maple syrup for all you Canadians. Again, antioxidants and minerals. Nectar has got a low glycemic index, so low GI, but it also can be used as a sweetener. Coconut sugar, so it comes from the coconut palms and it's got lower GI than regular sugar. So they're really good options if you're maybe baking or you want something to add on to oats, for example. Like you can throw some honey on oats or maple syrup, that could be good too. And then, okay, we're not going to talk about that one. Stevia, so plant-based sweetener. The world has got, I'm not going to go into conspiracies here. The world has got a problem against artificial sweeteners, or like stevia and stuff, because they say it causes cancer. The studies are not supportive of that. Okay, so you can have the artificial sweeteners and sugars. People say about Algarve. Yes, I think that's how you say it. Yes, you can have stevia on stuff, like just use it as sugar. Or in your coffee or whatever you guys have. A lot of the 0-calorie things have that in, so that's okay. If you want the uplift, the taste, it's not really the taste, but the feeling, vanilla extract. That is taste, but rather than the sweetness, I mean the taste, if that makes sense. So you've got vanilla extract, which is going to be helpful, and cinnamon. You can also use cinnamon, which is obviously natural. I heard once that if you have got a craving, you can light a vanilla candle and that will reduce your cravings. I don't know if that's true. Let me know, guys, if you've ever tried that. That could be helpful for you. And then you've got my fave, dark chocolate. If you're going to have chocolate, like, white is the worst, milk is okay, dark chocolate's the best. Essentially how it works. So that's the way to do it. I tried to grow stevia, but I killed it. Oh, Sam. And you are a good old gardener, aren't you? So I can't help you. I go to the shop and buy everything. But my sister might be able to help you actually. Bees, plants, crafts, wherever, she's the one. A dill pickle or green olives are great at curbing cravings for sweets. Well, if you like pickles, if you're American, then a pickle is good. If you're British, no one likes pickles. And green olives, again, olives are good, but they've got a higher fat content. So you've got to be careful. It's always like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? But either way, calorie for calorie, olives are going to be better for you than a chocolate bar. So yes. Okay, and then the last thing is Greek yogurt. Drizzle some honey in it. Sorry, I was reading the comments. Drizzle some honey in it. That's going to be good. Put some fruits in it. Anything that I've mentioned so far. Add it to some Greek yogurt, and it's going to be a nice little dessert. Oh, Bushel likes pickles. Oh, you're not British, are you? You must be part Yank. Okay, so that's basically all of my tips. That's all of my pros and cons and my tips of avoiding or reducing refined sugars. So other tips of what you should do. Okay, ready for this? Keep making these notes. Read nutrition labels. It's boring, I know. Okay, I know it's boring, but you just go read it a couple of times and then you'll know. Someone asked me around, do I get bored of eating the same thing over and over? No, I get bored of myself, hearing myself every day going, I don't like the way I look. That's boring. And it's also boring for Cam and anyone around me that's hears me going, oh, I don't like the way I look. I can deal with not eating fancy different foods every day as long as I'm working towards my goal. Okay, so read the labels. Boring is what gets people results. Novelty is why people fail. You know, that all like, do a different exercise every day to confuse the body. Bullshit. Body doesn't get confused. It's very, very smarter than us. Okay, smarter than your brain. Flipping heck, I thought you said 7. I did, Rosalind. I was wrong. I got my timings mixed up. A client call is at 7. Apologies, it's 6 o'clock here. But you can watch the replay. It's cool. What was I saying? Let me get back to my notes. Oh yeah, read the labels. The next thing, cook at home. Okay, if you're one of these people that eats out all the time, you do not know what they're putting in the sauces. You don't know what they're putting, how they're cooking things. Just cook at home. It's going to be easier. Gradual reduction. If you are eating a lot of refined sugars now, don't go 100 to 0. Make 1 or 2 swaps a day. So I don't mean every single day, like 1 or 2 for a couple of weeks, then another 1 or 2 for a couple of weeks, another 1 or 2 for a couple of weeks. So for example, if you have sugar in your tea or coffee, change it for a stevia. If you have a Starbucks and you always have like a double pump of whatever, go for the sugar-free version. These small changes are going to be what's important. If you're having barbecue sauce, that's going to typically really high in sugar, swap it out for something else, a low sugar version. There's all different types of terms for sugar on the back of packs, like dextrose, etc. Yeah, like sucralose, dextrose, fructose. So they're all different sugar molecules, basically. So like fructose, for example, is a single, it's better for you than others. Oats with dark chocolate melted is so good. Yes, I love it, Alice. I love it. It's my favorite. And Biscoff. That is really processed Biscoff, but that's what I really like. But you can add fruit in it. But typically, Sam, if it's like an apple, it's an apple. Do you know what I mean? Like that is going to be more unprocessed than a special kind of whipped up, packaged pot noodle or whatever. That's got lots of different sugars in. So look for the minimum amount of ingredients in a food. Does that make sense? So if you have a steak, it's a steak. There's pretty much nothing else in it, right? It's just beef. If you have a chicken, it's a chicken. If you have an egg, it's an egg. But if I went downstairs and looked for like a package thing, it's going to have this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. So yeah, I've been the apple and raspberry queen lately. I was going to say, yeah, fiber. Excellent gut health. Okay, so gradual reduction, stay hydrated. Sometimes when we are dehydrated, we might feel like we need sugar. So that's another thing. And then eat balanced meals. So if you are going to have something that is highly processed, have it with things like fiber, healthy fats, and protein. Okay, that will help stabilize the blood sugar levels and reduce cravings, essentially. So that is pretty much everything I've got on sugar. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you guys have got any questions. My comment that I made earlier, which I deleted because I thought people are going to take this the wrong way, so I'm going to kind of explain it, is that it was something along the lines of, yes, I could do a talk on it, but I don't think you should eliminate it. I do not think anybody should eliminate processed sugars unless they have a medical condition, in which case they need to, right? So even diabetics, I wouldn't necessarily be like, cut it out. Like, just reduce it. You don't need to eliminate anything. Can we talk fiber on another life? Yes. Talk all about poop if you want. We could talk poop on fiber. That'd be delightful. I'm sure we've talked about fiber before, though. Surely. And Shelby's done fiber talks in the client group, definitely. I'm 99% sure. But yes, we can. Put it in, when I post the square and I'm like, what does anyone want covered? Post it in there. So I know what I'm going to talk about. So I wouldn't necessarily cut it all out. So for example, if you're cutting out everything, it would mean you wouldn't have dark chocolate, and that's that. You wouldn't have tomato sauce, pizza or like passata. A lot of that's got sugars in. Like sometimes it's added, like a dolmayo sauce. Yes, I would prefer you make a dolmayo sauce or It's not what you guys have in America, but like a jar. I would rather you make that yourself. But sometimes we haven't got time. So we're just going to kind of make something, got to be realistic, haven't we? I like dark chocolate. I like chocolate. It was my dad's birthday yesterday. I had cake, right? I'm not going to cut things out of my diet totally. But like I was saying earlier about having like a boring life where I eat the same thing day in, day out, because I do that most of the time, and it's 80 to 90% unprocessed foods. I eat a lot of chicken, tuna, eggs, beef, right? That's basically and cheese. That's basically my diet. And fruit and veg and all that kind of, not fruit, just veg. So I know that when I do go out, or if I do need a quick meal or whatever, I can just have that, because most of my meals are unprocessed, super healthy, really clean. So it allows me to have that flexibility. Whereas someone that's eating processed meals all day, every day, if they go out, they're going to go off the wall. They're going to have loads of shit. And they're not going to make progress towards their goals. They're going to then have a restrict binge mentality. And guess what they're going to binge on? They're going to binge on refined sugars, which we've already spoken about, makes you then want more. And then you're going to be like an addict, basically a crack addict. So we really need to make sure that most of our meals are plain ass, boring meals. I'm going to get a t-shirt with that one. Eat plain ass, boring meals. Not eat plain ass. Also boring meals, right? I'm not going to just have that on my t-shirt. That's dumb. That might come across right around. Eat plain ass. So if anyone wants a t-shirt, hit me up. I'm gonna get a bulk order of eat plain ass t-shirts coming in hot, like a peach on the front or something. So don't eliminate them. Restrict, yes. Make swaps, yes. But eliminate, no. I wouldn't ever recommend eliminating anything unless you have it's going to kill you. If you've got a nut allergy, I don't recommend you try and eat nuts. I would just avoid them altogether. Okay, so I think that's everything, guys. Again, some of the symptoms I mentioned could be other things. Don't feel like, oh my God, I've got brain fog. It's definitely refined sugar. Could be, likely, but it could, I have brain fog. I eat a fairly unprocessed diet. Mine is medical. So don't blame nutrition, but also don't just rely on pills or whatever. Okay, anyone find that helpful? Anyone got any questions? I'm gonna sip while the chat catches up. I like the active chat, guys. It's nice. No props, Crystal. If that is it, if there's no questions, I'm going to let you guys have extra 10 minutes. Every day. Yesterday's podcast went out. It was about eating out. So if you've got a meal coming up, if you're going out for dinner, if you kind of want to lose weight, but you don't want to give up all of your meals, and you don't want to undo all your progress in that meal, or you feel guilty for going out with friends, then that is the one to listen to for sure. We've got the Transformation Challenge starting. Who wants to win a free photo shoot? Change your freaking life. That's the way to do it. Message me, and I will get the application over to you. And that's basically, and actually, even if you don't want to win, if you're like, oh, I don't want to do the photo shoot, we've still got this transformation, like boot camp, should we call it, coming up. So you guys can still apply for that. But I think you should do the shoot. But that's basically everything. If you've got any questions, then let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon. See you soon. Bye-bye.